Golden State Warriors, believe it or not, still have 4 games left in the regular season, and Steve Kerr is still updating the media on who he prefers to start that night. I think this is just crazy because he's been experimenting the entire season. This year has just looked a lot different from the last decade of the dynasty the Golden State Warriors have been able to produce, but he did recently give an update on his role that he wants Jonathan Kuminga to have coming back from this injury and heading into the postseason. So before I hop into any of that, I want to ask you guys, if you want to do some watch parties for the NBA postseason with the Golden State Warriors playing games and so forth, all you guys have to do is go ahead and hit that sub button for me. My goal is at least grab another 25 new subs just from this video alone. So if you know anybody that you love, that loves Jonathan Kuminga, that loves Trayce Jackson-Davis, who we're also going to be talking about here on this show, just go ahead and send them this video and hit that sub button for me. Let's break down what Steve Kerr said about Jonathan Kuminga. We want to keep starting Draymond and Trayce for defensive reasons. Bringing Jonathan off the bench and watching him run the floor and attack the rim, that's a great dynamic to have off the bench. If JK's coming off the bench and he plays the way he did tonight, great, we'll figure it out. Well, with the starting lineup that's had Jonathan Kuminga in it, it's got a 2.0 plus-minus rating. Without Jonathan Kuminga, you're about 2.7 in your plus-minus. So either are still great, but unfortunately, without Jonathan Kuminga in your starting lineup, you do actually have a better plus-minus than you do with him in it. And I was actually very intrigued to see Trayce Jackson-Davis still being in the starting lineup because I could have seen Steve Kerr just kind of pushing him to the side and not continuing to roll with this. So the fact is, the starting lineup is looking like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Trayce Jackson-Davis at the 5. I personally really do enjoy Draymond Green at the 4. He doesn't have the height that TJD does down to the paint, especially going up against bigger opponents in the Western Conference. So I did a little digging, and I wanted to see what the difference in statistics look like when you have Trayce Jackson-Davis and you have Jonathan Kuminga in this 3-man lineup, because there was a huge thing that Steve Kerr did find out, that when you put Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga together, they don't work. When you put Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green together, as you can see, it works. 10.7 net rating, which is incredible for a 3-man lineup, but it gets even better. When you put Trayce Jackson-Davis in the mix with Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green, you get a whopping 23.3 net rating. This is a huge jump, something that I was not expecting to see. I have loved watching Trayce Jackson-Davis in this rotation with Draymond Green. I like the leadership that he's giving Trayce Jackson-Davis. I also like that Draymond Green gets to come out of the paint a little bit and actually get to suffice some defense around the mid-range and leave TJD down low. But the good news is here for the Golden State Warriors is that both can win ball games. We've seen over 15 wins with Jonathan Kuminga in that starting 5 with Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green. But we've also been recently seeing on this NBA win streak is that the Golden State Warriors can produce wins with the rookie Trayce Jackson-Davis in the lineup as well. So it does suck to see Jonathan Kuminga coming off the bench if they do continue running with this lineup, because I think JK has just worked his ass off the entire year, and I do think that he is still one of the better players on the Golden State Warriors. But if statistics are showing me that Trayce Jackson-Davis is a big factor in the Warriors' success, then you got to keep running with TJD at the 5. Yeah, you could possibly factor in Jonathan Kuminga starting over Andrew Wiggins, but Wiggins has actually been playing really good ball, and if JK still has knee tendonitis, then just let him rest these next 4 games. So my question here for you guys is, which starting lineup would you rather go with? Pick one. One with Jonathan Kuminga, type JK. One with Trayce Jackson-Davis, go ahead and type your TJD down below. While you guys are doing that, let me break down the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America right now, which of course is PrizePicks. They have a great promo going on as well for your Tuesday. Obviously, it's Taco Tuesday, so I always put my discounted picks in on prizepicks.com, but I logged in today and I did see that they're having a $20 protected play on NBA picks today. So basically all that means is if you opt into that $20 protected play, you can either win your projected set picks or you can get your money back if you do not win. So if you take a look at my picks here today, of course I did my Taco Tuesday. I've got Doncic having more than 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I've got Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis, both with the more of the Boston Celtics. And I've got Curry having more than 27 points tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. As long as you hit that little box at the bottom that opts you into the $20 protected play, you win or you get your money back. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100, and you're going to be able to watch yourself win some real money in real time. Pick more, pick less. It is truly that easy. Let's break down what Anthony Slater had to say here on Jonathan Kuminga's postgame presser when he did come off the bench after missing 6 straight games with an inflamed knee tendonitis. He said that I wasn't concerned about coming off the bench. Not that I ever thought he would be. He seems like a guy that has a very selfless type of mentality, that he just wants to help the team win, which he did go on to say, any way that I can help this team get a W, I'm going to be able to do that. So JK doesn't matter if he's in the starting 5 or if he's in the second unit, especially with the last 4 games coming up here. The Los Angeles Lakers obviously is a must-win for the Golden State Warriors if they want to move up to the 9th seed in the Western Conference. The Trailblazers should be an easy enough win. Pelicans are going to be a pretty spicy team, and they just dominated the Utah Jazz without Steph Curry, so I do hope that they can at least rack up 3 more wins here. If not, clean slate, 4 wins heading into the postseason, which will be intriguing to see if they'll keep TJD in the starting lineup in that postseason. When we talk with Kendra Andrews of ESPN saying, Kerr seems pretty committed with running with this starting lineup, at least for now, to start Trayce Jackson-Davis, even though Jonathan Kuminga is slowly coming back with that knee tendonitis. We felt good about starting JK for 30 straight games, Draymond at the 5, but given with what's happened the last couple of weeks, I want to keep starting Trayce. This is no surprise, considering Steve Kerr has switched up the starting lineup so many times. Klay Thompson, you're starting. Klay Thompson, you're on the bench. Chris Paul, you're on the bench. Chris Paul, you're starting. He has gone wishy-washy all season long. However, it is pretty interesting that JK has started over 30-plus games for the Golden State Warriors, and Trayce Jackson-Davis is making enough of a splash to keep being in the lineup. When asked if he likes being in the starting lineup, of course Trayce Jackson-Davis says, it makes me feel great. I want to keep doing whatever I can, first off, to help the team, but more importantly, to help the veterans, because they deserve it. And that is what Golden State has been riding on this last decade. Those 3 vets, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. The fact that Trayce Jackson-Davis wants to win not only for the team, who has struggled this entire season with external and internal things, but more importantly for the Big 3, which this may be the last run we see with that Big 3. I found a little piece of nugget that was also pretty interesting, is that Trayce Jackson-Davis, he has been postering a bunch of big-name players in the NBA, including Wemby, and he is now the first Golden State Warriors rookie this in a season to have over 100 dunks. His putback game is insane. I love what he can do around the glass offensively and defensively. The dunks make it a little bit more flamboyant and rambunctious, and yes, we love to see the surprise and the posters and stuff like that, but it's the aggression, the athleticism, the vertical that gets me with TJD. I looked at his deeper into the rookie stats that I have seen so far this year, because yes, he put a poster on Wemby, who is a rookie, but he's also one of the biggest guys in the NBA. So I want to look at other rookies and how Trayce Jackson-Davis compares to them, and he's actually doing phenomenal. He is 8th in rookie statistics in rebounding, about 5 rebounds per game, shooting 74.7% from the field. That's 5th amongst all rookies. 1.1 blocks per game, 5th among all rookies. And then, with over 20 minutes played in a season, he is averaging about 5 opponent second chance points, which is 5th in the NBA, proving his defense is dominating down low. And I've really enjoyed Trayce Jackson-Davis growing as a rookie, and I think he's going to do damage in the NBA for the Golden State Warriors for the next couple of years. But with that being said, I have loved Jonathan Kuminga. I love what Jonathan Kuminga can do. I have been an advocate for this man since the beginning of the year, and I think a lot of these wins are credit to what Jonathan Kuminga has been able to provide in secondary scoring, in athleticism, and at defense. But with Steve Kerr and the statistics that I have just now seen, there is no issue, from me at least, to keep going with Trayce Jackson-Davis for the rest of the regular season and into the postseason, especially when you get into the Western Conference and you're playing bigger guys. I love that he is 6'9". They're one of the biggest guys on the Warriors roster right now. This really suffices the fact that the Warriors have needed a true big. I think you've got one. His name is Trayce Jackson-Davis. So why don't you guys go ahead and comment down below your Warriors starting lineup. Which one is your favorite? Is it one that includes Jonathan Kuminga? Is it one that includes Brandon Podziemski, Chris Paul, Steph Curry? Any of those players, go on ahead and comment your favorite starting five you've seen this season, because there have been a few with Steve Kerr and his experimenting. But while you guys are doing that, like I said, our goal here today is hit 25 new subs. So go on ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like the statistics, if you like the show, and if you love the Golden State Warriors. All you guys have to do to be completely in the know is hit that sub button for me.